white supremacy. White supremacy does this to you. White supremacy wants to keep you stupid. To oppress a group of people, you can't have them all being intelligent. You can't have them all making smart decisions. You can't have them all out here trying to get to the top of the pile. You have to have the ignorance become the norm. You must make ignorance the thing that is most marketed. You must encourage backward behavior. And so what I'm going to really talk about today is something that I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be mean and really call it out as complete backward behavior, but I am going to say that this is a line of thinking that actually is part of the reason that Black people stay broke. You see, people talk about reparations and the need for reparations to help Black people get ahead financially and to get caught up financially. But what they don't talk about is that there are 1,000,001 things that Black people do every day. There's 1,000,001 things about the way we think about money that keeps us broke. Why would you? It's like when our 9-year-old was saying, I need more money. I need some chores so I can make some more money. And we said, well, why would we give you more money? Because you have bad money habits. I saw you had $20 in your pocket. You threw it all away. So why would I give you another $20 so you can throw that away too? So, for Black people, it's a matter of basically us growing up and kind of thinking through some of how we view wealth and how we view money and how the white man taught you how to think about money. He didn't want you to be empowered. He doesn't want you to be wealthy. He doesn't want you to catch up. He doesn't want you to be great. He kind of wants you to depend on him, right? So to some extent, we become the economic hoes of America, the economic side chicks of America. Everybody wants Black money, but nobody really, really like these Democrats and all these people asking for your vote. They don't have a plan for Black wealth. They have no plan for Black wealth. All they have is a plan for more Black people to get jobs working for white people. That's the only plan that they have. So let me jump in here and talk about what I brought up today. This was an article that came up to me from money.com. Money.com wrote an article about the rapper Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was in the news last week because he was apologizing to Gayle King. You guys know my position on that. I didn't understand the apology, but I didn't understand his original statement. I think that if you make a statement that is out of pocket, either don't make it or stand by it. I didn't appreciate, I did not understand, I did not agree. Willie D and I talked about this. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, who's a friend of mine, we talked about this, and we both made it clear we do not agree with the apology because last time I checked, I haven't seen Gayle King apologize. Give me a yes or no if you saw Gayle King apologizing for what she said about Kobe Bryant's legacy. Did Gayle King apologize for what she said about Kobe, the fact that Kobe might be a rapist, right? Did she apologize for anything? When you apologize and the other person doesn't apologize, unfortunately that's a win for them, especially when they were the original victimizer. It's like your husband comes in the kitchen and hits you in the head with a frying pan, and then somehow you end up apologizing for whatever reason, and then he says, well, I accept your apology, right? That's a problem. That's an abusive relationship. So when it comes to white supremacy, Black folks are in an abusive relationship, but many of us like it, and it's okay. That's what it is. I'm just here to observe the obvious so that you guys can understand what I'm talking about. So here's the deal. So hit the thumbs up button. So Snoop Dogg is basically talking to Money Magazine about his estate plan, his will, his trust, or we could say as a lack of an estate plan. Again, this is not a diss. I'm not dissing. I'm just kind of just pointing this out. And this is really one of the reasons why Black wealth is dropping, is because of how we think about money. If you don't value money, you're not going to have any money. If you don't think about money, you're not going to have any money. If you don't make plans for money, then you won't have any money. Right? We make plans to become great basketball players, so we become great basketball players. We make plans to become great rappers, so we got an oversupply of rappers. I mean, we have it. We probably lead the world in the number of 40, 45-year-old rappers, right? The Black community has millions of rappers who don't make a penny making music, right? So whatever you focus on is what you're going to be good at. So Snoop Dogg was asked about money and wealth and estate planning. I don't know why they ask rappers about estate planning when they should probably ask estate planning experts, like attorney Nicole Compton in the Black Business School. She's an expert on estate planning. But of course, we have a society where certain things are elevated out of our community, certain things are ignored. Intelligence, expertise tends to be ignored in the Black community because they don't see you as intelligent experts. They only see you as entertainment. If you're not a rapper or an athlete, then you're usually not going to get much shine from white media. So here's what it says in Money Magazine. It says, unless one magically appears, as they won't do, Prince died without a last will and testament, which will likely result in a bit of a mess. With a fortune estimated at roughly 300 million, people are speculating in bewilderment as to why the very rich icon elected not to write one, especially given his age, wondering if he was careless, denial with his own mortality, or something else entirely. But what if Prince didn't make a mistake? What if he knew exactly what he was doing? Some wealthy musicians do, like Snoop Dogg. On Tuesday night, Business Insider caught up with him after an event and asked him about estate planning. He indicated that, like Prince, he does not have a will. He said, quote, I'm going to do my best Snoop Dogg imitation. I don't give a fuck when I'm dead. What am I going to give a fuck about? I don't know if I did right. The Snoop D-O-double-G. I don't give a fuck when I'm dead. What am I going to give a fuck about? So I guess Snoop, you know, in the effort to be cool, like that's what, remember, when they look at black people, they don't respect you for being smart. They only respect you for being cool. And they monetize your coolness. They monetize your culture. They monetize your trauma. They monetize your struggle. That's why they love to see rappers rap about shooting other black men in the head and being in the hood and being chased by cops and murdering people and getting high all the time. And also, like, they monetize that. In fact, this weekend, you know, since I'm kind of I'm in the public eye a little bit, I get invited to stuff. I got invited to a party hosted by the Jordan brand, the Air Jordan brand. Now, let me tell you about this party. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to say this and still be loved. I'm going to try to say this. When I was little, my mouth used to say, boy, your mouth will either make you great or get you killed. I'm curious to see which one. So I'm probably going to lose some friends by making this observation, but I'm going to make it as politely as possible so I don't offend anybody, because I actually like the guys who run the Jordan brand. I really do. But here's what I saw. So I go to this party, right? Now, one thing I know about the Jordan brand, as well as many other brands, is they extract the coolness out of the young black male the same way you extract oil out of Africa. They extract the trend-setting ability of black people the same way you extract gold out of Ghana, right? They extract your taste-making ability. They extract the taste-making ability of the young black male without properly compensating the young black male, right? So let's check it out. One thing about that brand, as well as many other brands, is that they follow what black people do to decide what the next trend's going to be. For whatever reason, everybody loves black people. We the coolest, like Snoop D-O-double-G. You know, Snoop is like, I'm the Snoop D-O-double-G, y'all, right? He's cool. That's why white people love him. They love the shit out of his cool ass, right? Because he talks real smooth and the words flow off his mouth, and everybody, you know, and it is what it is. No disrespect. It is what it is. But they extract that. They're like, oh, we like that. How do we monetize that? That's how they stole hip hop from you. Hip hop, they saw it in the South Bronx. They said, oh my God, this is revolutionary. It's so cool. How do we make money off of that, right? So they're thinking about the power. You're thinking about the party. So I go to this Jordan brand party. Swear to God, no, not making this up. So I go to this party where this multi-billion-dollar empire has been created by extracting the cool factor from young black males, extracting the taste-making ability of the young black male and monetizing that to the world. So now you got Europeans buying Jordans because young black males think Jordans are cool. You got white folks buying Jordans because young black males think Jordans are cool. You got Asians buying Jordans because young black males think Jordans are cool. I go to this party, and do you know that the vast majority of the people at this big, gigantic party were white? The vast majority. I saw some black males. Don't get me wrong. I even saw Michael Eric Dyson roaming around and a couple other people. Michael Finley, who played for the Dallas Mavericks, and a few other people. But I saw so many corny white people. It was ridiculous. I sat down at a table, and we're about to eat some food, and a guy sits next to us, and he's like a cocky white guy, and he's like, no. He's like talking like this, and I'm good at reading people because I meet so many people, so I'm good at reading him. I'm like, oh, he must be rich because he's very cocky, because rich, something about money makes men like more confident, right? And I asked him, I said, so what do you do? I didn't tell him what I did. I don't even bring that up. I don't care about that. I don't. What I do doesn't matter. I was curious about him. He said, oh, I'm one of the inventors of Beats by Dre headphones. I'm like, oh, that explains the cockiness. Because you got paper. You probably got more money than Jesus. Good for you. Check it out. So I talked to him about the marketing strategy for Beats by Dre headphones. I said, I was really impressed by the way you branded those headphones. I said, because really what I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. I didn't say because I didn't want to be rude, but I'm really thinking y'all took some mediocre ass motherfucking headphones, some headphones that ain't no different from some headphones you could probably buy at Walmart for maybe about $50. And you put them on the heads of celebrities. You put them on the heads of celebrities so that you would establish brand association. that would lead people to add a premium value to your product. Now, when you look at the celebrities, the cool factor that's being extracted to make Beats by Dre headphones into a multi-billion-dollar product, most of these celebrities that they're putting these headphones on, are these celebrities white, or are most of these celebrities black? Did most of these celebrities that they put the headphones on, did they come out of the white community? Did they come out of the Asian community? Or did they come out of the Jewish community? Or did they come out of the black community? Tell me, please break it down. Break it down. Let's really break this down. Yes or no? They came out of the black community. They extracted, like they extract your coolness for their own economic benefit, the same way you go and you extract cocaine out of a coca leaf or whatever it is, right? Like you extract it. So ultimately, at the end of the day, they're just sucking you dry, right? So this is what's kind of happening, right? With hip hop, and this is what's happening in entertainment in general. This is what happens in sports. They extract your best athletes. Your athletes are a $1 trillion commodity, but because you don't think about the business side of anything, because you're not thinking about how we can actually build businesses in our community, because you're only seeking jobs, you're missing all of it. It's all flying right over your head. You're not understanding it as it's happening, and they're getting rich, and you're wondering why you're still poor. Okay, so as I move on, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And I want to mention to you guys, the Black Business School has a couple of activities happening this week. One, I'm doing a private Black Wealth conversation tonight where I'm going to answer questions. You can ask me any question. I answer every question in these discussions. If you want to be a part, if you want to be invited, all you got to do is become a supporter of the platform. This is for supporters only. And so if you want to support the platform, just go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. I promise you, I won't ask you for nearly as much money as white people already ask you for, but we need your support. And if you do that, in exchange, we're not asking for charity. We don't do that. In exchange, we will give you something of value. I can teach you better than any college professor you've ever had. Number two, if you want to check out any of our books, any of my books or any of Dr. Claude Anderson's books, you can go to drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com. And that's it. So hit the thumbs up button, and we can keep going. So here's the deal with Snoop. So Snoop goes on, and Snoop explains why he doesn't feel that he needs a will, because he says, I hope I'm a butterfly when I die. I come back and fly around and look at all these motherfuckers fighting over my money and shit. Okay, so here's the thing with Snoop, right? Him not having a will isn't gonna devastate anybody per se. Let me just make it clear. He's married. He's worth about $124 million. He's got a wife and children. As long as he's okay with all his wealth going to his wife and his kids, it's going to be fine, right? For the most part, not completely, but it's not optimal. But it's not like he's going to end up like Prince. Prince's situation, here's the problem for Prince. Because Prince didn't have a will, all of his assets went into probate. And when that happens, what happens is the people that make the most money are going to be the lawyers, the white, who are mostly white, the accountants, who are mostly white, the court administrators, who are mostly white, and the IRS, which is very white, because they use all that money to support white supremacy. So everything Prince fought for as an activist pretty much got annihilated and wasted by the amount of money he donated to white supremacy. He wrote one of the biggest checks in support of white supremacy in the history of all mankind. So again, as I speak to you black people, I talk logic and I talk facts here. We don't talk about just things that are going to make you emotionally reactive. Everybody wants to see black people react emotionally to something. I'm here talking logically and strategically. Right? Logically and strategically, what's the point in being an activist your whole life if you're going to go turn around and write $100 million check to white supremacy? That doesn't add up, right? So let's get, or even for all of us, like, what's the point in us complaining about what the man is doing to our community when we're the ones actually financially funding what the man's activities in the community? Seriously, we're the reason Popeye's Chicken has, billions of dollars in the bank. We're the reason that the founder of Gucci and is it Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and it's Louis Vuitton and I think he founded Hennessy or something. We're part of the reason he's worth over $100 billion, because rappers who come from the black community they extract the coolness from the rappers. We are tastemakers. So when rappers rap about Hennessy, giving free advertising to the people who make Hennessy, then Hennessy sales go up. It just happens that way. That's been the case ever since Run DMC was making songs about Adidas. But at least Russell Simmons was smart enough to go make an endorsement deal with Adidas, so they would get a piece of the change. So anyway, let me keep going. So here I'm gonna read to you a few things that happen when you don't have a will. This is off of hfcu.com, Hanson Financial Credit Union. One, you have no say. If you don't have a will, you have no say in how your assets are distributed, except those covered by a trust or a named beneficiary. When someone dies without a will, which is called intestate, the state will decide how to divide your assets. Typically, the bulk of the estate will go to your spouse. Your children will also get a share, or if there are no children, it will be your parents. Next, the state will look for siblings, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, and cousins. If no qualified relatives are found, your estate becomes property of the state in a process called achievement. Achievement. I can never pronounce that word. Anyway, it's ESCHEATMENT. If you're in a relationship but have no marriage certificate, your significant other may not be able to inherit from one another or be considered next of kin for medical matters. Documents such as wills and power of attorney can help to ensure that those closest to you are able to retain some of the legal statuses. So here's the problem. If you got a baby mama and you ain't married, or if you are a baby mama and you ain't married, that means if your partner dies, if you're dependent on that person financially and they die, you probably won't even be able to get into their bank account to get the money to pay the rent next month, right? Just make sure that you're 100% clear on that. Or your person you love. When Martin Luther King got killed, there's a lady who was 90-something years old who lived in Kentucky. She claims to this day that she was Martin Luther King's girlfriend, that Coretta was his wife, but she was his, she was his love. And when Martin Luther King got shot and they put him in the ambulance, they did not she wanted to climb in the ambulance with him the same way a woman does when she really loves a man and he just got shot. They would not, according to this woman who I think she just died in her 90s, they would not let her get into the ambulance with him. And also, she had no rights. She had no rights whatsoever to anything because she was never legally and formally connected to him. So if you ever want to know one of the reasons why marriage can make sense in terms of establishing a business or an institution, it's because you have legal connections that allow you to get things done in case something happens. People die every single day. It is what it is. Next, number 2, your personal representative will be appointed by the court, not chosen by you. A will is where you designate an executor or personal representative. This is the person who takes responsibility for your estate after you die. They make sure final bills and taxes are paid and your assets are distributed properly. If you have no will, you have no executor. A judge will determine who manages this process. Chances are the judge is going to choose some white man who's going to get to control Snoop Dogg's money, and that man will probably get some percentage of his wealth. Number 3, your estate does not have a provision for charity or persons not related by blood or marriage except named beneficiaries of a specific asset. So you don't have anybody that is not a blood relative that you can actually leave assets to, no charities, nothing. It's going to go right to that spouse and those children. So God forbid, if something happened where Snoop went out in a Kobe Bryant situation where his wife and his children are all on the same airplane and the plane goes down, then it's going to be a big mess. White folks going to have a field day. White supremacy is going to have a big party that night because they can be like, oh my God, this dude, we extracted all his coolness and made billions off of that. And we're going to make another 100 million off of his estate because now his money is a ward of the state. His money is like an orphan child left in the adoption agency. And you know what happens when they put orphans in those adoption agencies? Bad things happen to them because nobody is there to protect that child anymore. So when no one's there to protect your assets, then people come in and they just pretty much raid the pillars. That's what they do. In fact, 70% of all wealthy families lose all their wealth in one generation. 90% of all wealthy families lose all their wealth within 2 generations. So if you're not thinking about wealth and protection of wealth long term, then chances are all that you work for, all the assets you've accumulated are going to be gone within 1 generation, and then maybe even 2. I've done lectures on this in the Black Business School. I have a really good, great family wealth building lecture, legacy lecture that is that you're going to love. and I can let you guys watch it for free. Just go to billiondollarfamilies.com. That's billiondollarfamilies.com. I gave that lecture in Atlanta, and there was a brother there who was I think he was like related to Marcus Garvey or something. He was part of a foundation. He was related to someone famous. I don't remember who it was, but he came up and he said, "This was the greatest speech I've ever heard." And it was. I'll pat myself on the back right quick and say it was that powerful. I guarantee it'll change your life. I want the community to understand these ideas. So, so just go watch it for free at billiondollarfamilies.com. So the Black Business School, we do like have you buy things and invest in things because we need you to do that so we can do the work, but we give you lots of stuff for free. And we just want you to give us a chance. So Rob Bailey, thank you very much for your donation. I appreciate you very much. I just want to make sure I acknowledge Rob. So let's keep going. What else is going to happen to Snoop's money if Snoop dies without a will? Number 4, your personal possessions may not be distributed as you wish. So if you think about family heirlooms, furniture, and other valuable or sentimental items, a will can help settle differences and manage frayed emotions at a stressful time for your loved ones. So, when Snoop talks about, I want to be a butterfly so I can fly around laughing at these motherfuckers fighting over my money. What if your kids are fighting? What if you have 2 children, 2 of your children both want the same heirloom, or they want the same, symbolic, memento, I guess, from your career, right? They both want, like you say, this is this is the microphone I used when I first performed with Tupac, and some white guy's willing to pay $100,000 for it or whatever, and your kids start fighting over that, and then they stop speaking to each other because dad was never there to clear it up. The father was never there to say it's going to go to you or it's going to go to you. Well, your personal stuff that's like in your house is sitting around. There's no clarity on that. So one of the reasons that people like to have a will is because wills just provide clarity. And when you have clarity, then you can have continuity and you have peace. You see, when you don't have clarity, that's when you have fights. When you don't have, when you have lots of misunderstandings, that's when you start fighting. So when people ask me, I'm getting married to Alicia on July 11th. You guys know this, all of you are invited. And people said, Doc, do you have a prenup? I said, absolutely. Not only do I have a prenup, but she wanted me to have a prenup. She wanted us to have a prenup, not because we expect to be divorced, not because we trying to milk each other, but because we want clarity. In case the marriage dies, we want there to be clarity in terms of what's going to happen to her stuff and what's going to happen to mine so that we can move forward and still keep our peace. You see, that's why you have contracts. Contracts provide clarity and minimize misunderstandings. How many of you, give me a yes or no, how many of you have ever lost a friend due to a misunderstanding? How many of you in here have lost a friend that you didn't speak to for 20 years because, or 10 years or 5 years, because they thought you said something and you thought they said something and you thought they felt this way, but really they might have felt that way, but you never actually got together and talked about it. So you had a misunderstanding. How many of you have ever either lost a friend or came close to losing a friend or a relative because of a misunderstanding? And give me a yes or no if you're in the chat, if you've ever gone through that. I'm going to be the first to say yes. I've gone through that on many occasions, where somebody thought that I said, maybe I text something and they thought I meant one thing and I really meant another. Next thing you know, they're mad. So they're responding in a certain way and I'm mad, and then everybody's mad. And next thing you know, you done lost a friend. That's why communication is extremely important. You communicate partly through contracts. Optimal contracting is what they talk about in financial theory on ways to basically maintain and protect wealth because it minimizes misunderstandings, among other things. All right, it creates clarity. So everybody type the word clarity in the chat. Type clarity. That's what you want. That's why you want to leave a will for your family so they can have clarity. They're already sad that you're gone. They're already devastated. Why are you going to create confusion by dropping, in the case of Snoop, he's dropping $120 million in a room of hungry people and saying, okay, y'all motherfuckers just fight over it. I don't care. Just fight over it. It don't matter to me. I'm dead. I don't care. Well, the thing about it is that, this really, unfortunately, I think, can communicate a fundamental misunderstanding of how wealth works. If you want to know why white people have more wealth than you do, it's not just because they stole your wealth for 300-400 years. That's a big part of it. But also those who have wealth, like if you look at one wealthy white man versus a non-wealthy white man, chances are the wealthy white man is wealthy because somebody gave a shit about him when they died. Chances are that the reason that person has money today is because somebody died and said, I don't know what's going to happen in the afterlife. I don't know if I'm going to go to heaven or if I'm going to go to hell. I don't even know if heaven is real. But one thing I do know about the afterlife is that after my life is over, my loved ones are going to benefit or not benefit from the plans that I made for them right now. So in my quest to live forever, in my quest to manage the afterlife, in my quest to manage my long-term destiny, in my quest to fight for my last name, not my first name, right? I'm going to go ahead and just do a couple of things right now and make sure that in the afterlife, my people are taken care of, that my people are on top. If you want to know why Donald Trump is president right now, if you want to know why Donald Trump is president right now, it is because Fred Trump, his father, made a plan for the afterlife. His father said, son, I built all this wealth for you. Here you go. We want you to go and take this wealth and run around and become a bastard and cuss people out for no reason and get on Twitter and cause international problems or whatever. And ain't nobody gonna be able to tell you shit because daddy got your back. Daddy took care of you. Black kids struggle because daddy didn't do shit. Daddy didn't take care of them. Daddy didn't look out for them. So your kids out here looking crazy, looking homeless, looking ridiculous, looking broke, looking busted, the laughing stock of the world because daddy didn't do his damn job. Dr. Claude Anderson said this. He said that it is criminal. He said it is criminal that we abandon our children financially and leave them out here going across town begging for jobs from people who hate their guts. Like he said, it's criminal. Anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done this yet. I want to say thank you to the moderators who are watching the channel. Also, if you haven't subscribed, we actually have a Black financial channel. If you're interested in financial news and commentary on a daily basis from a Black perspective, subscribe at theblackfinancialchannel.com. THE, that's theblackfinancialchannel.com. We're into building Black, and we build all the time, even though we don't have as much money as Snoop Dogg. If I had 124 million in my fortune, believe me, we'd be doing this on a much bigger level. So one day that's going to happen, but it just takes time because I'm not a rapper. So white people won't pay me $100 million to go out and make a fool out of myself. But unfortunately, or fortunately, there are other ways to build wealth. So we're just doing it the slow way instead of going after that fast money. We want intelligent money, not ignorant money. Unfortunately, too many rappers, and I'm not dissing Snoop on this, but too many rappers, unfortunately, are given powerful platforms to promote ignorant ideologies. It's not their fault. It's white supremacy's fault because white supremacy kind of picks certain Black people to pull up and prop up at the top of the pile. Like I was watching ESPN, and they were asking about racial issues, controversial racial issues like reparations, and they had Lil Wayne. And they're asking Lil Wayne about reparations. And I'm sitting there thinking, why would you ask Lil Wayne about one of the most important, most significant topics in the history of Black people in this country? Why would you not be speaking to Dr. Claude Anderson? Why would you not be speaking to an expert? You got Black men and women that are teaching at Harvard and Howard that could answer this question in a powerful, eloquent, meaningful way, but yet you're asking Lil Wayne, who doesn't even know what day of the week it is because he's so motherfucking high. That's the problem that you have as Black people, is that the worst of you is unfortunately dwarfing out the best of you. So that's why the world, when they think about Black people, think about this. Give me a yes or no. When the African American community is brought up in conversation, when whites or Jews or Arabs or Mexicans are talking about African Americans, do they speak our name with respect or do they speak our name with disrespect? Do they look up to us and admire us, for being visionary and extraordinary people? Or do they kind of look at us like animals? Is it respect or disrespect? When they speak on our name, is there respect or disrespect? Answer that question for me. There is extreme disrespect. And how does that happen? Well, because of what media is promoting. When white media tells the world what it means to be African American, they're usually not telling them something good. They're telling them that it means that you don't respect women. Remember, how did Snoop become famous? Well, his most famous line was, "We don't love them hoes." Remember that? And y'all thought it was great. Y'all thought it was so cool because he was on TV and he had money, right? But there were people who actually said, that maybe this isn't the best representation of the Black community and how we treat our women. Another rapper who's a friend of mine who I respect immensely, he's been on this channel by the name of David Banner. David Banner said, and I was so proud that he said this because, again, he's a rapper, so they're going to listen to him more than they listen to me. He said, you can judge a society or judge a community by how it treats its women. So when Snoop went and made the comment about Gayle King, there was a lot of backlash because people were going back on all the things that he said about women over the years. They remembered in 2003 when he came to the award show and had two women on a dog leash. We don't roll like that. Black men don't operate like that. That's not who we are. If you are a real man and you don't believe in that sort of thing, I want you to raise your hand. And so the other thing about being a man, in my opinion, is manhood means taking care of those you love. It means looking out for your family members and protecting your children from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. It means looking out for the people you care about, even in death. Even when you're not here, you're looking out for the people you care about, making plans. You know, like seriously, like you know, are you really, as a man? I mean, seriously, as a man, how in the fuck as a man can you feel good about yourself when your children are gonna be out here begging the church to pay for your funeral because you didn't make no plans? Do you know what they're gonna say about you? You know what they're gonna say about your family? You're like, yo, these old dusty ass kids, and nobody wants these dirty kids. And the daddy was stupid. Seriously, I'm really this is a nut check for all the men who are watching. Like, you have to understand what it means to take care of yours. Like, you don't, it's not cool. So anyway, let me read the last point. Here's the other thing that happens when you don't have a will. Your minor children will have a guardian named by the court, not you. So Snoop has a wife. His wife will likely be the guardian of his children if something were to happen to him. But again, if he had a Kobe Bryant type situation where he went down on, let's say him and his wife are on a chopper, the chopper goes down. At that point, the court gets to make a lot of decisions about the fate of his children, the fate of his assets, the fate of his family's financial future. I don't know if that's a safe move for Black people in a world that is built on white supremacy. So that's my 2 cents on it. That's that's what I think about it. This is not a diss. This is just really me stating facts and really me encouraging you to just understand the difference between entertainment and reality. Right? Snoop lives in the world of entertainment. He's got a lot of money. I'm sure it's going to work out for him. I hope it does, but I don't want you guys thinking that way. So people like me are here to counter some of the narratives that white people are promoting to you. All right? They're taking your greatest heroes and they're promoting to you the most ignorant ideas that they can possibly find. And I'm not a fan of that. I think Black folks have to be intelligent. I think intelligence is the key for us overcoming this white supremacy thing. That's just my 2 cents. So do me a favor, please right now, hit the thumbs up button. If you're on Twitter, please retweet. If you're on Facebook, please share this video. Also, I'm going to do a masterclass again very, very soon. So if you want to sign up now and even go through the recorded content as we prepare for the next masterclass, the masterclass is really good. Everybody loves it. You can go to drboycemasterclass.com. That's drboycemasterclass.com. I'll be speaking in Hanover, Maryland, doing a wealth summit there in March. You can go to springintowealth.com. That's springintowealth.com. Also, Nicole Compton and I are going to be meeting tomorrow night with the Black Millionaire Factory, which is a great program. You can read all about it. Feel free to go take a look at theblackmillionairefactory.com. THE, that's theblackmillionairefactory.com. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. And once again, no disrespect intended on this conversation, but you guys know I have to be honest, and that's what I was doing, being honest. I didn't like that article, and I really hope Snoop will reconsider all of that. And if he even wants my advice on any of this, he can feel free to call me, and I'd be happy to share with him what my perspective is in a respectful way. I will never talk about a person on this podcast that's not invited to come on and either defend themselves or get some support from me. I don't want this to come off as me calling somebody stupid. But I think that there are other perspectives that should be considered. So that's my 2 cents. So take care, guys. Have a good day. I'll